And the red light's on.
Okay, perfect. Okay, we're going to be doing today real estate perspectives. And basically the real estate perspective is to try to put your real estate career in perspective of, you know, the things that you really need to do and how to grow your business and how to, how your business wants to come along. And it's, hi, Mafalda.
Hello.
This is Vivian.
Good morning,
Hi,
She's
Vivian.
my superstar. She's
Oh,
new.
Vivian,
She's
nice
thinking
to
about
meet
joining us. I asked her to come to one of the trainings.
Nice.
Thank you.
Welcome.
So we're getting started. Here's your package. And I was just saying we're doing today.
You joined
we're
us
doing.
recently.
No, this
Not
is my
yet.
second day.
Oh, sorry. This is Michelle.
Hi, I saw you there
She's
when
doing
you
my
were
marketing.
being.
She's going to start doing marketing so we can get more business. So we're going to kind of go into that today on, you know, some of the different things and the reasons and the kind of changes that I'm making after kind of doing Momentum. Momentum came to us to Remax. We're the only Remax is the only one that has it.
Before I forget.
Oh, okay, thank you. And how we got it was actually through Keller Williams. So there was a guy that opened a Keller Williams office in Texas, and he grew it amazing. He was actually a teacher by trade, and they brought him into the Keller Williams office to teach. And he had this office that was losing, I think it was like $15,000 a month, profitable in the matter of 6 months. And the training and everything, all the agents started to do amazing and booming, and their business started to do really well. So he was invited to open his own company. So he got the worst location, and he built it to be the #1 office in Texas, and it was going amazing. And then someone approached him to buy the office, and he said, well, if you want to, I guess anything's for sale, give me a price. Well, they made him an offer he couldn't refuse. So he said, well, you know, this is my whole training. This is how my office has become productive. They said, we're not interested in the training. We just want the office. So he said, okay, really? So he took the training out of the office and sold it to Remax. So he teaches us now, and he's taught the whole Momentum class for the production. So I think that they're regretting that information because now that the company's out of business. So
Wow.
so it's really enlightening, and it's very, you know, the more you kind of go through it, the more, even after 29 years in the business, I learn a lot with the perspective, because it really kind of puts everything into perspective of, yeah, this is why so many people don't make a lot of money. I mean, even though I'm doing a lot of it already, that I've done it through the years, it's just really kind of put it in perspective on, like, where are the important jobs in my business? What do I need to focus on versus getting involved in some of the tasks? So that's basically an introduction. So we're going to start out with the first, you guys can follow along in your manual on the first thing. Real estate sales is a get-rich business. It's a get-rich business, but not a get-rich-quick business. So you got to know the difference. If you do this job right, you can make a lot of money and be able to have an amazing career. But it's, you know, there's a lot of people that fail, as you know, as you were telling me, and you have people here. You have to be able to do it right. And my goal is, you're going to make some mistakes being brand new, but to get you on the right path from the beginning, at least have it in your mind where you need to be. You're probably going to make some mistakes, and things aren't going to be perfect at first, but I want this to always be in the back of your mind. And I also want you to be able to be visiting and revisiting the videos, because it's important. When you visit the videos, you learn more, and you're going to have more aha, I got to add this, I got to change this. So today I was up at 5 o'clock, and I spent 3 hours listening to videos. I do it often, but people don't see that behind the scenes on things that I do to prepare for this. It just isn't like I'm prepared, you know, I have to prepare, just like you have to prepare every day when you go out in this job to become better. Okay, why work? Well, you have to work for different reasons. People have different motivations, but most people work to make money and to be out there, and because they have to work. You know, you have the option, if you are wealthy or have investments or have passive income, that you don't have to work, but most people are in the boat that they have to work. So our goal is to try to get it where you work towards the passive income life. So, you have 24 hours, and that time you have to do yourself, you have to do your relationships, and you have to do your finances. And the problem is that, for me, I usually have the most problem with myself. I mean, I try to do more. My husband's the best at himself. I wish I was. He always makes that time to do it, even though I know, okay, I need to get up, I need to get out there, I need to walk and run and do these things. A lot of times my business kind of takes over, and I get away from doing that. So the key is, I go through spurts. I mean, I did a half marathon, so I had to be focused. So it's good to have goals in all aspects of your life. But to balance all those things is a lot, because you have, I mean, we don't have kids, but you have husbands, you have a son that's older now, but I mean, you have 2 children, they're always pulling you in different directions. So the key is, how do you manage your time and to become more, to actually manage your finances? You don't live to work, you're gonna work to live. So, you have to remember that, like, this is a job that this job can consume you. So you want to make sure when you're doing this job that you're doing it to give yourself the life that you want. So that's why prioritizing your time and making sure you're doing the right things in the right avenues, because we all have the same 24 hours a day. So we need to be able to plan for those days. And creating unlimited life of abundance requires both time and energy. So earned income, work is a necessity, money. Passive income, work is choice, time and money. So like I said, if you have multiple real estate investments that are paying you so much a month that you don't have to work anymore, that's when life is perfect. So then you don't even have to think about working, but then you might just like working. So everybody has different priorities on where they are in their lives. Now this is how you can look at your career. Now you could be an employee, which employees working for others, there's low cash, high time. You can be self-employed, work for you, developing systems. Funds require you, it's high cash, high time. Or you can become a business owner, finding and developing others, passive income with low risk, high cash, low time. Or an investor, living, unlimited living, passive income without risk, high cash, high time. So that takes no time, but you have all your time for yourself. So, you have to kind of see where you are on this chart. Most people are in the self-employed chart, and they struggle to become the business owner. And even being an agent, you can become the business owner. And I think as, top agents, you make more than someone like me that owns a company like this. I think the income level of a top agent is way more than a broker owner. So I think that, you can be a business owner being in the real estate business. And this is a little bit different thinking than you have in most training in real estate. They don't tell you this. But the bottom line is that you can become a business owner and have a business that runs without you being there when you get to a certain level. I mean, it won't happen in 5 years. But when you get to a 10 to a 15-year point, you could have a business that you could actually not even be there and have it run. And I'm going to show you how that's going to happen. So it's up. The career option is basically up to you. So that's basically your choice, and it's all going to begin with the way that you think. So people that don't progress because they put limits on themselves, and usually it shows up in the form of excuses is why they can't do things. So you always have to kind of think back on why can't I do anything. Thoughts matter. And in order to create a life of abundance, you must train your mind to think in unlimited terms. So right now I would like for you guys to write down 5 limited beliefs that you possess.
Limited, like you can't, like things that you cannot.
Things that you think limit you in your life, like something that you believe. Like for example, I don't have a lot of money, so I can't sell $5 million properties. Things like that. Like, little things. Or I'm not very good, so for sale by owners because I'm afraid of them, so I'm not going to take the risk on going to see someone like that. So, I mean, I know that wouldn't bother you because we talked about it, but, something that you think is going to limit you in this business because of your thinking. Or in anything in life, it doesn't even have to be this business. Everything to me is one, you know. So you guys want to share what do you think is your biggest limited belief? Let's start with Vivian.
Right now, basically money.
Like,
Yeah. To me, it's a limitation right now because
it's
no
going to
matter-
take you money to make money, so
Yes.
you're feeling like that's
It's
kind of
like I want to
limiting
do
you.
so much, but it's
Yeah.
like, oh, I don't have, the
Yeah.
money to
That's
advance.
excellent.
And,
That's very common with people just getting into business.
I follow her on my first one. The second one is the time to do everything that needs to be done.
Yep.
And sometimes you plan in a way and
It doesn't.
other things come in the middle, people change their mind
Yep.
or they
Excellent.
change their schedule and everything gets cumbersome and
Yep.
mixed up and you get derailed. So
Exactly.
that is a huge problem.
Excellent.
Yes.
Excellent points. And we're gonna hit on those, and I think that was really, those are perfect examples. I think those are probably the two biggest things that people that are new in the industry have a huge problem with. So I want you to this time rewrite your limited beliefs as unlimited beliefs. So rewrite those that I have all the money in the world because I have the ability to make money, or something, something that will I have the time because I rearrange my schedule and people have to come on to my terms in my life versus me going on to their terms, and I make the time to do what's good in real estate. Just come up with your own. But just those are two examples. Okay, you guys want to share one, each of you?
Well, I can share one. If I had the money,
No, I have the money. You have to put it to I have the
I
money.
have the money to market. I have the money to get help to do everything that I need to do in a day and go after all the points that I know are getting out of my hands because I don't have those things.
Yep. Perfect.
I shared I shared in Mafalda said also, but I said I have all the time in the world to do this, to start my business.
Absolutely. That's good. I like that. That was really
I have
good.
no troubles with money because money will come. Money's there.
Perfect. I love that. That's beautiful.
I have determination.
Yep.
I have the ability and high discipline.
Perfect.
And I am in great shape.
Perfect. Perfect. Love it. Awesome.
I'm
So
not in great
basically,
shape, but
this
I
I think
have
is
to put that in my mind.
this
so I
is
can
perfect
work
for you
out.
guys because you guys are already so positive. So, but you know what? If you really kind of come back to this and even watch this again and again, because this is so important. Your mindset is everything. And it's just, I mean, you go, and if you're down in a day, you can't afford to be down. You can't, when you're going on a listen, you can't afford not to be in the mindset. It's almost like being an actor. You can't get you can't get on stage and perform. You don't have the option if it's going to cost you money. So, keeping an open mind and learning scripts, learning to be better. You want to keep doing that, and we're going to kind of go through all the jobs and everything that you need to do. But when you have an open mind, even after 29 years, I have an open mind. I go to all the RE/MAX events. They said, do you want to spend, it was $1,500 for me to do Momentum. I jumped right into it. I'm like, yeah. I mean, you always want to keep moving forward and keep growing, because if you don't, you're stagnant and you die. So if a plant stops growing, they die. So you gotta always make time in your business to learn. You need to get up in the morning earlier. When you're up in the morning, for the first half an hour, if you're having a coffee or having a drink, put on a video about real estate. Sit there. It doesn't take you any more time. It's going to be fit right into your schedule. Just change some of the things that you're doing to get the education that you're going to need to get yourself forward, because you want to keep working on different areas. If you're having a problem with time, then on the RE/MAX side, go do some stuff on time management. How can I get more scheduled? How can I tell people that, sorry, but I have a fixed schedule today. I have clients all morning. Well, you're going to be prospecting all morning. You just got to know how to get yourself on track and keeping your schedule, because your schedule is everything. Whether it be time for yourself, whether it be time for your husband, whether it be time to do your prospecting every day. So that's the whole thing, is you need to be in control of that, and you can say it nicely, but you can't let people just drag you here and there, because it's going to make you exhausted. Let them fix their schedule to meet yours, because you're the professional and you're going to be doing the stuff. Sometimes you might have a fear of loss of that, but you're going to lose more by getting off your schedule than staying on your schedule. So you always want to stay learning based, and when you're learning, you're growing. So you always want to grow, learn, and not only do you want to learn, you got to learn. You can learn for two ways. You can learn to have knowledge, which gets you nothing, or you can learn to take action. So in these classes, I want you to start to take action of what you learn and keep revisiting it, because it's one thing to just say, okay, I got the knowledge, like to the people in the class, when's the next class? Well, you haven't even finished this class. That I'm already finding, like with doing I did like 3 classes already, that people aren't taking the action that they need. They go through I did the for sale by owner, not one person even tried to attempt to even go out and see a for sale by owner. So when I'm teaching you things, you need to take action. Whether you fail, I don't care. It's better for you to fail and take action than take no action.
I did.
Oh, well, you did. Well, good. We'll talk about that after, but I'm proud of you. I thought you would. So many people, I'm like, did you do it? Well, we're getting everything ready. I mean, I can remember the guy that used to cut out the for sale by owner ads in the newspaper. He had a beautiful log, like 5 pages. He never made the first darn call. It's like, don't get ready to get prepared to get ready. Sometimes taking action and learning from taking action is more important, or not all the time, if taking action is more important in failing than taking no action at all. So that's wonderful. I'm so happy to hear that. But, you always want to keep growing. You want to be learning based, like I said, instead of ignorant based. I know what I know, and there's more to know. And if you're not learning, you're ignorant based. So you think you know it all, and I have a lot of agents that I look at and I'm like, you're not making a lot of money and you're not coming to my training. What is the problem? It just doesn't make sense to me. So you always want to come, you always want to learn, and you always want to grow. So if I'm not seeing growth, I'm wondering why. What are you doing and where are you spending your time? Because there's no way that I can have one agent making $1 million a year and one making 30 and seeing them work the same hours. It's ridiculous. So it's like, you got to kind of work on what you're doing, obviously. You got to make some changes. It's not good. And let me ask this. Can someone be learning based and not committed to self-mastery?
I don't think so.
Yes, because they don't take action.
Oh.
So they can learn all the stuff they want to do, but if you never take action on learning, and applying what you're learning, then you can win the Jeopardy. That's about it.
That's not gonna work.
No, exactly. So there's two outcomes to learning. You don't want to learn for the sake of knowing. You want to learn for the sake of growing. So this is the way you have to do. You have to, if you learn to know, you just know. If you learn to know, you just, all you do, this is it, Jeopardy champion. You want knowledge, you go for knowledge, and then you try to get on Jeopardy. Well, I don't care how much knowledge, I wouldn't be able to do it. I can't think quick enough for that. Learning to grow. You clarify choices, you take action, you build habits. Hi, honey.
Hey.
You build new habits. No problem. And then you shape character, you determine your destiny, and you control your legacy. There's going to be two outcomes to learning. You're going to have the willingness to study, practice, and implement the vital activities of a thriving agent. And you need to focus only on the basics. It's not about gaining an understanding of the basics, it's about mastering the basics. So there's just basic things that we do in this job, and it's called prospecting. Whether there's a lot of different ways that we learn that you can prospect, and I'll teach you all of them, and you can find the ones that you're comfortable with. But if you're not doing it, you're not going to make it, period. I mean, you need to set, that's the most important thing in your schedule, every day. You say you don't have time, that was something that you struggle with. To me, every person that does anything else but prospect before noon is on a road to failure. You need, when you're new especially, you need to be bringing in listings. You need to focus on that, not buyers. Buyers come. Buyers are easy. You see buyers afloat. They were around. The hard part and the most profitable part about this job is getting the listings, and that's where your focus has to be. 1,000% on every day. And every day that you don't and let someone knock you off track, you're just getting one step back. So if you have someone that says, I got to be out at 11, then you're going to have to say, oh, I'm so sorry, I had another client at 11. Can we move it to 12:30 or 1? If they say no, well, how about 5:30 to 6? I mean, you can always make time in your day, but the problem is a lot of people don't like prospecting. So instead of doing what they need to do, they say, okay, I'll just go do that because I'm busy. And busy doesn't pay the bills. So, you always see these agents that are so busy and they're making no money, you're wondering, what the hell are you doing? They're running around and nothing's getting accomplished. So you need to be focused on your schedule every day, and prospecting has to be the number one thing. Right, Jocelyn?
Absolutely.
She knows. The pathway to mastery. So the first thing you want to do is you want to hear the material for the first time, and you're going to have the aha moment, and then you're going to start you're going to, what's the name of that? You're going to go towards, you're going to take action, and then you got to practice, and then you want to reinforce again what you've learned. So you got to keep doing that, and you have to keep coming back to the lectures. And there's going to be, through the momentum class, there's 12 classes along with this one, the real estate perspective. But you got to keep coming. You know what? Because you need to. You're going to hear this. You can hear this 12 times, and you're going to learn something new. And you got to keep growing and reinforcing. If you hear these lectures once, or watch, go back and watch it once, it's never going to hit, because every time you come back here, you got to get your mind tends to get off track. This gets you back on track and gets you saying, you know what, it's time for me to take action today. If I don't take action, I'm going to be behind, so I need to do that. And every time I do these lectures, they're going to be different, because there's going to be different participation. I'll get better at it. I'm having to do this whole thing from new material that I've had to, I've had to study it. It takes a long time to put all this together and to really try to learn it. So just as I'm learning it, next time I'll get better. And then when I'm delivering this, so my goal is to have these going on at every couple weeks. If I'm out of town, I'll have to reschedule, but every couple weeks, and have them all on video. Everything's going to be video backup. So if you're feeling you're getting off track, if you've done something wrong, then go revisit this and say, you know what, let me get my business back in perspective, what I need to do. Because everyone gets away from the basics. They become successful because they're doing the basics, then they get away from it, and then they say, oh, it's back to the basics again. So this business is about basic tasks, and once you can get those mastered, you'll make a fortune. I don't care who you are, your education level, it doesn't really matter. Ask Jocelyn, she sees people, if you're working, she's been doing this a long time. If you see people that go out and work, it doesn't matter anything about them.
No.
So it just matters that they're working. So you can't screw it up. Mike Ferry used to say you could throw up on someone. Eventually someone will like that. I don't know if that's true, but I think he just means like, by that he just means that you're just so bad. Yeah, you're just so awful that that you're someone. Bringing experience back to the lecture, so you come back with your experiences, because once you've learned this, you want to have the experiences and then come back and reinforce those and then really learn from that. And then you're going to keep doing that, bringing it back, you're going to get another aha, and then you're going to become mastered. So this is basically how do people succeed. You have the intentional, inactive, I want it, I'm not moving toward it, talk is cheap. So somebody that wants something, but they don't do it, take action, so they have nothing. And then you have the unintentional and inactive. They don't want to do anything, they don't want to learn anything, and they don't want to do anything. So of course they're going to fail. Then you have the accidental proactive, that they're just kind of accidentally coming into things. They might have someone that's going to sell because it was an accident, they just kind of fell over it. And then they're proactive, but they get frustrated because they have it. They're getting a little taste of it, but then they're getting frustrated. But then you want to become intentional proactive. And that's when you know what you're doing, and then it just comes to you because you're doing the right things every day, and so the abundance will come and flow your way. So why do people succeed? An overwhelming burning to commitment to take action. An intense feeling of passion stemming from the specifically defined aspirations and plans. So it's about willingness more than anything else, and that's where you'll have your success. It's moving towards a goal that supports you, something that you really want. You got to really know your why, and you have to seek out the training, the systems, the tools, and the relationships to achieve your aspirations. And the most important thing you're going to have in this business is your why. Why are you doing it? Because it all comes, let's face it, nobody wants to go out and work, if there's no reward. But, you have to have a reason why you're doing it, not just to make money. That doesn't motivate anybody. He gave a good example when he was doing my training tape. He said, it's like you fill a sandbag with sand so that you're going to try to save a city. We're having the hurricane. You're filling sandbags. That's nothing versus building a levee to protect the city. That's your goal. So you may have to fill the sandbags to get to the levee, but the levee is the goal, not the sandbag. So just like in real estate, the tasks that you need to do every day are going to get you to that ultimate goal at the end. If you're not doing the tasks, then the tasks are tedious. That's the problem. Most people get into this business and they're like, oh, there's work to do, there's tasks to do. Yeah, you have to do the tasks to get the reward. And everybody that I know with success, they're doing the tasks on a daily basis, and that's where they reap the rewards. So a model for intentional and proactive. Intentional and proactive. For intentional, you have to define your aspirations. What do you want? You must be specific. You have to hope it springs eternal. And then hope springs internal. It develops goals, plans, and strategies for achievement. The direction is established, and your hopes turns into expectations. So you have to have all of that in order to get your intentional. And then your proactive, you have to implement your vital activities, which we're going to go through. You got to move toward them on a daily basis. You got to have constant action. You have to have efficient action and proficient action. That's why the willingness or motivation plus ability is going to equal your expectations. So basically what he's saying there is that you won't have the ability unless you're always on a learning. If you're always not learning, you're never going to be able to overcome the problems that you're going to have. Because you might go out and get a listing right away, but then what happens when you have 4 people up against you? And you've never even practiced a listing presentation. You have nothing you're bringing into the table. That you think you're just going to go wing it. It's fine for some little deals, but when you have $10,000, $20,000, $30,000 on the table, you got to know what you're going to say. You got to be prepared. You got to have a couple presentations. I can go right into. I probably have 3 to 5 presentations that I know where I need to go. by asking a lot of questions, by knowing where I'm in the situation, by knowing if they're interested and they want to learn more, to know if they're interviewing another agent. You know, this is all coming in the listing part of the momentum class. But when you're experiencing, you lose a couple big listings, and you're going to lose them, right, Jocelyn?
Oh, yeah.
Everybody loses them. I mean, there's nobody that's good. I mean, you know, you're going to be up against people. You're going to be keeping your fingers crossed. You got to be on your game, but you know, you're going to lose them. But that's why you need to be. It's not bad if you lose them, if you go in there and gave it 100%. It's bad if you lose them, if you go in there bumbling, and you don't know what to say, and they're getting you off track. That's when you feel bad.
Yeah.
But if you go in there and give it 100%, you can't. It's next.
It's a numbers game.
Exactly. It's, you know, you don't get yourself upset. But that's why you want to always be training and learning and
Be prepared.
listening to people that are better, that have done more, and then you keep listening to what they say. Laura, I mean, she makes a fortune, but she's back. Jocelyn makes great money, but she's back on it all the time. She's always on it. She's always listening to Mike Ferry, Tom Ferry, Brian Buffini. I mean, all the trainers. So you got to be on that, and then you have to be accountable on a weekly basis. This is what I want to try to do when we go through the momentum. I want to be able to, after class, kind of talk to you. Where are you? You know, keep you accountable. Have you been doing your prospecting? How are you doing? How are you getting on track? And what's going on with, you know, with what you're doing? Is your plan working? Do we have to change your plan a little bit? What can we add to your plan to get you to the next level? So it's always about growing and getting to that next level. So we have the formula for abundant success. Basically, we have the consulting, the training, the accountability, the mastermind is equal to success. So basically, the consulting is when we sat down, and I've sat down with, have I sat down with you yet?
Mm-mm.
So I sat down and I have with you. We came up with the first package. Now, it was kind of like blurry, because, you know, there's a lot in that package. And it's hard to kind of understand, the training kind of puts the package into perspective. So the training kind of reinforces what the package is, basically your business plan. So that reinforces it. And then your accountability, when I sit down with you next time, you know, I have a thing about people that are time wasters. You know, come in, if you haven't done it, just say, you know what, I haven't done anything. I don't want to sit down for 4 hours going over nothing, just talk. You know, we need to go over, get to the facts. Have you done your prospecting? Because I have other people waiting that have to get, you know, that need my support too. So we have to know, like, hey, if you haven't done it, then what do we have to talk about? You know, if you have done it, great. That's what I want to hear. Now, what happened that was your challenge? What did you find challenging? How can I help you get over that? What can we do to change things that maybe this isn't for you? Like, for example, maybe for sale by owners, the follow-up, they just can't follow up. They're just not good at it. So that's probably not an area that they want to focus on. But let's go now focus on to another area, maybe the open house part or the expireds part, because expireds are usually like you go and you can get that. So it's all coming to like where you're going to kind of look at your strengths and your weaknesses to grow in this job. So basically you're going to have your GPS is your goal, plan, and strategies. The mastermind. The mastermind is basically people, he thinks that, he suggests that we have